I'll do it. Oh, hey, let me put this box in the attic. Go! I also have all this plywood that I want to use as a floor for the attic instead of a waste of space for my man cave.
And this is the starting place. As is, the attic has a super cool feature where you can easily go to the floor below it just by standing on it, because it's just insulation and drywall.
And instead of this crazy contraption, I'm going to be adding a door connected to an actual ladder. As you may recall, the magic dumpsters provided quite a bit of wood, and I still have a lot of that left. So it is time to forge in my own backyard. What task calls for 30 nails in one place? What the? Just a couple nails in those 3 boards. All right, here are my starting boards. The one in the middle in particular I'm gonna be for sure using, and they were real nasty, so I've bleached and cleaned them. Happy attic ladder installation day. These guys are celebrating by chopping up trees. But guess what's here?
In the midst of the chaos, this is the only shot I got of the ladder, but the inside of the box looked just as bad as the outside, and part of that was due to the wood just being cheapy. The other option we found with the same sizing was this metal ladder, which I liked better, but it did have a huge drawback of not having insulation, which would definitely need fixed or my attic would just become a giant heat vampire and potentially turn my house into a hot air balloon. Anyway, time to get to work.
So I realized it's silly to be carefully avoiding cutting here into the ceiling because I'm gonna have to cut there anyway. So here we go, let's just cut everything right now. Sweet. I'll do it. Looks like it. Preparations have been made for the great battle ahead. Support, check. Shims at the ready. Giant screws with washers. Let's do this.
You better believe I quintuple checked the sizing before cutting a hole in my ceiling, and the instructions definitely said the ladder fits in a hole this size. Of course it does. It would also fit in the Grand Canyon. This hole is massive. Thankfully, it turned out to be no big deal. I added some more supportive wood and got it up there.
Alright, moment of truth. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna weep openly. That's the plan. Alright, gimpy ladder. It is time to be completed. Here's the checkpoint. Lock it down.
For the insulation, I had to get a bit creative, but was overall happy with the result, especially considering just how cheapy the ladder turned out to be. And, importantly, I could feel a massive improvement in how well it insulated, which is kind of the point. Before tackling part 2 of the project, a chipmunk had decided that the attic was actually his attic. I failed to get footage of that, but in the meantime, this guy was doing some similar decision making and decided the chicken food was actually his food, so we got to do a surprise road trip and live on the acreage of a buddy of ours.
Have fun.
Little roly-poly.
Little waddle butts.
Later, dude.
We don't even have land yet. How is this happening already? I put in all the plywood as floors and ended up doing something potentially a little odd. I had a box of wood flooring that I otherwise had absolutely no use for, so I brought it up to see how it'd look, and it looked nice, so I decided to go for it. It's a little unnecessary, but if nothing else, it's nicer than the plywood for bare feet. For lighting, I had a simple but clear vision. I wanted to be able to flick a switch and have the whole attic light up, so I got these nifty LED lights and strung them up. By the end, it kinda looked like a space station or something, which for me is definitely a feature. So at the end of the day, the transformation wasn't like something you'd see on HGTV or something, but hey, I don't want to get too fancy or the chipmunk will move back in. Now there's enough space to safely store things and a much easier way to get up here. Anyway, this is far from the most exciting thing I've ever made or shared, but I do like doing home improvement stuff and have some cooler renovations in store for the future, so I figured I may as well share it for those of you who made it this far. Have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one.